Hello, everybody. Kids have gone to bed, so it's just me for tonight, and I'm going to be showing you some recent pickups that I've added for my Roberto Clemente collection. And first one here is what you're looking at in the background is it's a Steiner Cooperstown collection matted print. The photograph showing Roberto Clemente's 3,000th and last hit. As many people know, is reached his 3,000th hit in the final game of the 1972 season, and then in that off season he was tragically killed in a plane crash while helping to try and deliver supplies to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. Now, the Adams, it's not really something that I would normally get. It showed up pretty cheap, and I just decided, I think I'll get it. And I don't know, it's not a vintage photograph or, an original, so that doesn't make it as cool to me, but it's a nice photo, and it's something that at some point, if I would build up the collection more and set up a really nice display, I think it would make a nice companion piece to go along with it. So I think it works. It's as an item, though it's not something I'm tremendously excited about, but it's still pretty cool, I think. So a few other items that I've picked up recently. I did pick up one modern tribute card out of Topps Tribute, actually. It is, I guess, purple parallel of some sort. It's numbered 299 out of 340, if you can see that. I don't know. I don't pick up a whole lot of these. If I see a numbered one on eBay, I might bid the minimum bid on it just to see if I might be able to pick it up. But there's just so many of those, I won't chase them very often. But every now and then I'll bid on one if I kind of like it. But I prefer to pick up the contemporary items that were issued during his playing days. So then a couple of other items. One here is a 1964 Topps coin. This is from their 64 All-Star set. There's also a regular set that they had, and then they had the All-Star set. I don't have the regular one yet, but it's one that I'd like to get. And this one here, it's kind of rough, but this came out of Salada Junket, which were packed in their Salada tea. I also sold desserts, but these came actually in boxes of tea in 1962 and 1963. And this one here, I believe, is the 1963. So, and it's in rough shape, but those aren't exactly easy to find. Certainly, they're less common to find than the regular Topps cards. And another one here that I really like. This is a 1972, so his final season. And it is his Kellogg's card. So it would have come from a Kellogg cereal box, packaged inside the box with the cereal. One of his best pictures are on that he took were I think in those Kellogg sets in 70, 71, and 72. They're all just great images of him. And so that was that one. And then I also picked up a couple of larger graded cards. And first one here is 1962 exhibits. And in 1962, and right around this time, exhibits tried making a run to compete with the baseball card companies. They thought that by putting statistics on the back instead of having the blank backs would make them sell a little better, so they gave that a shot. Really, it didn't help them that much. They only tried it for a couple of years, and then they went under very shortly after. So this was right towards the end of Exhibit's run at making cards, but they had a good long history of it from way back in the early 20s. And there's that one. Try and set that there. And the other one here, this is another promotional team issue item. This was 1968, the KDKA Pittsburgh Pirates, and this set was produced by the Pittsburgh Pirates as a promotional piece for KDKA, which was their radio and their television carrier in their local Pittsburgh area. And KDKA is still the Pirates' home broadcast station, and it was actually the very first radio station to carry a live baseball game. So kind of an interesting bit of trivia, which also involved the Pirates. And this card, it's a PSA 6, and I had a chance. There was an 8 that was at an auction, and this was also showing up at the same time. And I thought long and hard about trying to go for the 8, but I was doing the research on the prices, and I knew that the 8 could potentially go for, the normal fair price for an 8 of this card is about $100. But I found it, and I saw the auction house that it was selling with, and to me it seemed like it was a bad fit. It was kind of an item that didn't seem to kind of fit with what they normally sell, and I just thought that there was a good chance that that item could kind of sneak through, and it might sell a lot cheaper than what an 8 would normally go for. And so I tried to make a run at it. I bid it up as high as I normally like to go on just about anything that I'll spend on one individual card, and it went a bid increment past it, and I decided, well, I've got to let it go. And so then I went after this one, and I got this one in the 6 for $35. And normally that's a very fair price for this grade, and I'd be pretty happy with that. But the way it turns out is that 8 ended up selling for right around $60 or so, maybe a little bit more than that when you add in shipping costs and that. And it's like, well, I wouldn't have been able to get it for that because somebody had already bid that amount. So I would have had to probably have gone up to at least about $70 or so to get the 8, which is still a bargain really compared to what they should go for. And who knows, if I'd gone up just that one more increment, maybe I could have gotten the 8. But I would have been spending twice as much money, so I guess, consider that and all. But overall, it's like I'm plenty satisfied with the 6, and I don't need to chase those extra grade points. And speaking of registry points, I thought I'd take a minute or two and talk about my Clemente collection. And I have way too many registries that I at least have started on the PSA website. And I have 3 of them for Clemente. I have his standard Topps cards, which is his base cards from 1955 to 1973, so 19 cards. I also have his Topps Master set, which is every Topps card that was made that features Clemente. So all-star cards, checklist cards that have his picture, special cards, multiplayer cards that have him on it, and any of those cards as well. And there's 90 some of those cards. And then there's also the full master set, which is every card made of Clemente that was a regular issue card and not like just a test issue or something like that, or just a prototype or something. All of those cards, and I forget the exact number on that, 245, somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 cards. And I don't know that I'll ever complete any of these registries, but I want to get as many cards of his as I can, and it's just kind of a nice way to keep track and monitor my progress doing it. So now on the PSA registry of the 19 base cards, I have 5 of them PSA graded. I also have 1 that has been sent to PSA and will be coming back soon as well. That's his 67 Topps card. So I'll get that one back. And so then I would have 5, or 6, whatever it is. And so I'd be I want to pick up this year, I want to be able to pick up the 73, the 71, and the 68 are the ones that I don't have that are post 1965. I don't have those 3, so I want to pick up those 3. And then his earliest card that I have is a 1958 Topps. And I don't have anything between 1958 and 1965. Now, his cards before 1958 are really expensive, and so getting one of those will be pretty tough. So I would like to get at least 1 card in between the 58 and 64 or so 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, or 64. One of those base cards, I'd like to pick up one of those and get it PSA graded and get that far during the set during this next year. And then I've got a number of other items that I've sent off to PSA that would be part of the Topps Master Set and the full Master Set as well. And right now I'm about 9% or so, probably I think 10% of the Topps Master Set I've already got PSA graded, not counting stuff that's already been sent in. So I'd like to bump that up over the course of the year to get to 20%. And on the full Master Set, I'm only at about, I think, like 4.5, 5, maybe 5% total on that. So I'd like to get that up to at least 10%, which would be about 20 graded Clemente cards, which would be you know, it's a fair number by the time I would get to that point. So those are kind of some goals and things that I have for the Clemente collection going forward. And I know it's, by the time this video is going to air, it's going to be later into January and well past the time that most people are talking about their goals. But hey, this is when I could get around to it. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed listening to me ramble and show a few of these cards here. But show off these two, which really awesome one last time, and this one too, just because I like that photo a lot. Alright, it was good talking to everybody again, and we'll see you next time.